The future of our economies, democracies, and planet depends on how we educate the next generation. By investing in education, we lay the foundation for economies that are resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, please allow me to express my gratitude to ICD and more particularly to the General Director of ICD, Mr. Mark Dumfried, for inviting me to address the Berlin Economic Forum of 2025, where we explore solutions to today's critical challenges and opportunities. Yesterday and today, we listened to very inspired speeches regarding the role of diplomacy, dialogue, green transition, and sustainability. We listened to the role of peace and the importance of living in harmony and prosperity. Ms. Katalin Boyar stated that education is critical and fundamental for creating a more peaceful and sustainable society. I will continue by asking, how can education not only prepare a workforce, but also shape global citizens capable of navigating an interconnected, ecologically fragile, and rapidly evolving world? The climate crisis, digital transformation, rising inequalities, and weakening democratic institutions call for a comprehensive economic policies that go beyond GDP growth and job creation, to prioritize social equity, environmental responsibility, and global cooperation. Education must be more than workforce training. It must foster engaged citizens who uphold democracy, drive sustainability, and promote peace. Before we consider education's role in shaping the workforce of the economy, and we must recognize its broader function, creating informed, ethical, and responsible global citizens. Education is the foundation upon which individuals develop critical thinking, cultural awareness, and a commitment to sustainability, human rights, and democratic values. In an increasingly interconnected world, these qualities are essential for fostering social cohesion, international collaboration, and peace. Education provides the ethical and social foundation, but also equips individuals with the skills and expertise to drive economic innovation and sustainability. It is not enough to produce skilled workers. We must create problem solvers, innovators, and leaders who apply ethical decision-making and global perspectives to their professions. But are we, as a global community, investing enough? Are we ensuring that education budgets are seen not as expenditures, but as a most essential long-term investment in economic stability, democratic resilience, and peace? The answer must be a clear commitment to elevating education as a cornerstone of sustainable economies. Cyprus serves as an example of how education policies, green infrastructure, and non-formal learning initiatives can fuel sustainable economic growth. Through targeted investments, cross-sector partnerships, and innovative learning models, Cyprus has embedded sustainability at the core of its educational reforms. The question is no longer whether we should invest in education, but how we can invest strategically to assure long-term sustainability, economic prosperity, and democratic stability. Cyprus has made education a pillar of economic resilience, integrating it into national development policies. Our 2025 education budget of 1.6 billion, up 6% from the previous year, reflects our commitment to aligning economic prosperity with environmental and social responsibility. A just economic transition requires both advanced sustainability research and a skilled workforce capable of implementing real-world solutions. Vocational education and training is essential in preparing professionals for driving the green economy. In Cyprus, VET enrollments have increased by 24% over the last decade, reflecting a growing recognition of technical skills as critical to economic sustainability. We now invest over 200 million euros annually in reforming curricula, expanding digital learning, and fostering industry partnerships. But is this enough? How do we ensure that vocational education is not secondary, but central to national economic strategies? We must redefine vocational education. Professions such as solar panel technicians, wind turbine engineers, waste management specialists, bioagriculture farmers, and every profession that leads to a greener and sustainable economy cannot be considered just as jobs. They should be considered as key drivers of sustainability. These skilled workforces help countries to meet carbon neutrality goals, advance circular economy targets, and implement climate adaptation strategies. Cyprus is already taking steps in this direction by integrating green skills training across all VET institutions. With a €40 million financing from the Recovery and Resilience Fund, Cyprus is establishing the first green vocational educational school where all operations, infrastructure, and curricula align with sustainability goals. However, education must go beyond technical skills. Universities play a crucial role as incubators for sustainability innovation and interdisciplinary research. Today, 74% of Cyprus university research funding is dedicated to sustainability projects, reinforcing higher education's role in leading the transition to a climate-neutral economy. Additionally, we are strengthening international collaboration, positioning Cyprus as a hub for global sustainability education and research exchange. But we must ask, are universities adequately aligned with pressing sustainability needs? How do we bridge the gap between academia and the real-world challenges? Higher education institutions must not only educate, but also drive real-world solutions, ensuring academic research translates into tangible policy and business innovations that contribute to a more sustainable and resilient future. As I have already highlighted in the introduction of my speech, it is not enough to train engineers, economists, and entrepreneurs. We must also cultivate responsible, engaged citizens who understand their role in a globally interconnected world. In Cyprus, education for sustainable development, known as ESD, is embedded across all levels of schooling, ensuring that students learn not only about climate change, but also about social justice, cultural diversity, and international cooperation. Can we expect long-term economic stability if education systems fail to produce citizens who value peace, human rights, and democratic participation? The answer is clear. Education must be about more than employability. It must empower individuals to build a just, inclusive, and sustainable world. Cyprus' revised national strategy on education for sustainable development and green transition 2030 embodies this commitment. This comprehensive national strategy integrates sustainability across formal, non-formal, and lifelong learning. It aligns economic policies with sustainable educational systems, ensuring that investments in green school infrastructure, sustainability-focused teacher training, revised curricula, and community action programs are not expenditures, but essential investments in a resilient, competitive, and just future for generations to come. Sustainability is not just something we teach. It is something we must integrate into every stage of life, from early childhood to lifelong learning. To achieve this, Cyprus is implementing a radical education reform, transforming schools into living labs for sustainability. Key initiatives include embedding education for sustainable development at all levels. ESD, as is known, is now a core pillar across the education system, ensuring that environmental literacy, social responsibility, and climate awareness are instilled from the earliest years. The revised ESD curricula emphasize competency-based training, action-oriented education, twin transition, green and digital, and global citizenship, transforming schools into sustainable learning communities. Schools are being restructured into open, collaborative spaces for sustainability learning through the systemic framework for ESD and whole institution approach. Each school develops and implements its own sustainable educational agenda, driving local action for environmental and social change. This initiative, supported by over €4 million per year by EU funding, includes an accredited sustainable school certification scheme to guide institutions towards sustainability. greener school infrastructure for hands-on learning. Sustainability must be reflected in learning environments. Cyprus has launched the BEDIA project, promoting efficiency, energy, and developing innovative approaches in schools. A 27 million euros investment to convert 55 schools into near-zero energy buildings by 2028. These schools have already reduced energy consumption by 30%, saving 20,000 euros annually per institution. Students actively engage in energy conservation, waste reduction, and green technology experiments, reinforcing real-world applications of sustainability. This model is scalable for other countries, demonstrating that green schools reduce costs while enhancing learning environments. Expanding non-formal education for sustainability. Beyond formal schooling, community-driven sustainability initiatives, lifelong learning, and intergenerational collaboration are essential. Cyprus has developed a comprehensive non-formal education structure with 7 environmental education centers established in previously abandoned rural schools. These centers, renovated with over 17 million euros from EU funding, offer more than 150 environmental education programs. Annually, over 55,000 students from all education levels participate in 1-day, 3-day, and 5-day sustainability programs. These centers not only enhance environmental awareness, but also contribute to local economies. By bridging formal and non-formal education, sustainability learning becomes more meaningful, practical, and deeply embedded in communities. Through these initiatives, Cyprus is embedding sustainability into education at every level, ensuring that schools do not teach sustainability, but they embody it. As Cyprus strengthens the connection between economic policy and education for sustainability, we continue to face challenges that are common to many countries. Allow me to highlight some of them. Coordination between economic and educational policies. Misalignment between economic strategies and educational policies delays implementation, as education systems struggle to adapt to evolving labor market needs. Long-term financial stability. Education reforms require sustained investment. Securing multi-year financial commitments is essential to protect reforms from economic fluctuations and policy shifts. Bridging the sustainability skills gap. Despite efforts to align education with workforce needs, skills mismatches persist in key green sectors. Expanding access to green education. While education for sustainable development is integrated into formal and non-formal learning, rural and disadvantaged communities still face barriers to high-quality green education. Addressing these disparities is key to inclusivity. Aligning with European and global sustainability frameworks. To maximize impact, Cyprus must fully integrate its education policies with European and international sustainability frameworks. These challenges require collaboration between policymakers, educators, industries, and international partners to ensure education remains central to sustainable economic transformation. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the stakes are too high for inaction. The future of our economies, democracies, and planet depends on how we educate the next generation. By investing in education, we lay the foundation for economies that are resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. It is crucial to recognize that a green transition cannot succeed without investment in education. A digital economy without sustainability literacy will deepen inequalities. A democratic society without global citizenship education will weaken. Let us commit to making education the cornerstone of sustainable economic policies worldwide. Let us unite governments, industries, and civil society to ensure that education is not just a policy priority, but the driving force behind sustainable transformation, democracy, and peace. The question is not whether we can afford to invest in education, but whether we can afford not to. The time for action is now, and it is upon us to make this happen. Let us use this forum and every opportunity to build bridges of collaboration and dialogue for our planet, for our societies, and for the future we aspire to create. The power of education to transform lives is universal. This is our moment. This is our responsibility. Let us recognize that our greatest financial capital is our human capital, and it is built through education. Thank you.